What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in. We're going to get ready to go over pretty much everything that's kind of happened over the past day, which would be AMC and GameStop getting absolutely crushed. And then we're going to touch on a few of the stocks that we're looking at here this morning that are so far trading pretty well. So let's go ahead and make this just, we don't need to do that, but let's keep it like this. On your day, purple. Okay, so we're going to start here with AMC and GameStop. So for those of you that follow the channel, a little bit more religiously, we did mention when AMC was trading in prices of 25, 18, 19, 10, 11, 12, that the price targets were ultimately about $9 to $9.35 and lower. So we have currently met those price targets on AMC of $9.35 and lower. So essentially, this is where you got to tell yourself that AMC is most likely going to be returning back down towards $2.80. GameStop, essentially the price target was $185 to $146 and lower. We're at $132 now, so this is where you tell yourself that GameStop's probably going back towards about $56.80. So it seems like ultimately the big pump here on GameStop and AMC is done. It kind of sucks. I wanted to see the little guy, squeeze the move one more time. But at the end of the day, if you think about AMC and you think about GameStop, the squeeze was squozed. Literally, the Reddit traders, the retail market. You guys won. You succeeded. You squeezed the market heavily on GameStop and AMC. And once it was trading, significantly over 3 deviations, that was the win. You blew the market out. And anything, over that point was extremely high risk on the long side. So the market, has done what it needed to do. It squeezed up, went way too overvalued, but now we're returning, unfortunately. So it is what it is. GameStop, AMC, most likely done for now. So a couple of the stocks we're going to keep our eye on today are going to be BNGO. BNGO this morning had a really big squeeze on some good news. Starting to fall back a little bit here as we reach resistance. So BNGO is something we're going to watch going into the open, maybe for a small short. The news is good, so I don't want to short against the trend for right now. It's been moving very strong, so I think it might be best to be a little patient on the short. But ultimately, if it's going to continue moving long, we do have potential targets up to 1330s to 1350s on the long for BNGO. So again, we're also watching as long as up to 1350s area on BNGO. Okay. Next one that we will touch on is, what was the other one this morning? Wasn't OSS. BNGO, ARTL might have been the one. Yeah, so ARTL is a stock that went from $1 to $2.84, then it kind of crashed out. So we are keeping an eye on this for maybe a nice little long into the open. The only way we see that happening is if it holds over $1.57. So we're going to be keeping an eye on ARTL for a long hold, only if it stays over $1.56. Next one is MBRX. MBRX is another one this morning that's been pushing up. We're short bias on it now. I would be more short bias on it now. You went up, you did your flag pattern, you broke out, you got overbought again. Now it's kind of swinging lower. This was just a recent reverse split stock, so it's garbage. This is just the market and the market makers squeezing out short sellers. For the time being, it's a reverse split stock. It's normally not a good stock. Now it's just getting pumped up randomly. It's not to be held most likely. So again, we'll also be watching MBRX. We would be bearish on it, and we can't actually short it this morning, so we're really not watching it. But we just want to put it on the watch list because it's a popular stock, and we figured other traders would probably be watching it as well. Okay. Realistically, the market hasn't been all that fantastic like the past 2 days, or really yesterday. The market really wasn't that great, so I think what we should do is just kind of run through the S&P 500 maybe, the NASDAQ, and then we'll just kind of call it there. So the market basically returned to resistance. I would expect you're going to see a red day in the market today. If you look at my screen, you're going to see that we bounced all the way back to trending resistance at 380.34. So we should probably see sort of a red day here in the market, or at least a pullback to start the day. So go ahead, S&P 500, SPY, mark off resistance intraday, pretty much at 380 to 336, and know that we're getting pretty close to resistance. And usually we would do a little pullback. We might push up a little over 380.50. We might push up a little bit, but we've effectively made it to a short-term resistance zone where it would make sense to see the market pull back. So you might look to be a little bit more bearish on your stocks going into the open today. If the market's going to have sort of a bearish open, you might be a little more bearish on the market for most of your equities going into the day. But other than that, really not a whole lot more to talk about. We could touch on silver. Silver, it got pumped up. Really was not Wall Street Bets traders pumping it up. It was really, maybe Citadel. I don't know, but it definitely wasn't Wall Street Bets really pumping it. There was some people on the internet, of course, were pumping it that didn't know better. I didn't know better at first, but it come to the realization that Citadel has a big position. It's not really Wall Street Bets pumping it. Then you see all these mainstream media outlets that are starting to pump silver and all this garbage. So either way, I still like silver as because it's silver. But with what's recently going on, I didn't want to help Citadel, and I didn't short GameStop, and I didn't short AMC, even though I could have, even though I gave price targets back below 9 and back below like 150, and I was right about both of those. I didn't do any bearish trading on GameStop or AMC because I wanted to do my part in helping the stock be long. So that was me not taking advantage of good selling opportunities to try and help the stock from going lower. So anyways, that is going to be our watch list here for today. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care.